All right, what's going on today, YouTube? Welcome back to your favorite cyclist YouTube channel. This week, we're taking a look at the Clik Valves. But before we get into today's video, if you are new to my channel, make sure you head down below, hit that subscribe button for me. If you already are subscribed, make sure you hit that bell icon right next to that. That way you get notified every time I upload. That way you don't miss any of this awesome cycling content on this channel. So like I said, today we're taking a look at the Clik Valves here. So some of you guys may have seen these on Burn Peak, which is where I first saw them as well. Seth on Burn Peak did a review and talked about these valves and what kind of difference they make. And I kind of want to try them myself after that moment. So at Sea Otter, they had an up front, like straight up front booth, right at the entrance. Couldn't miss them, honestly. So I went straight over to them that first day, talked to them about the valves, and well, I bought my own. I bought my own valves so I could give this a shot. So what's different about these? Because these are essentially a click on and off valve core. So replacing your standard Presta valve core with that you would have to unscrew to then put your pump on to pump up with essentially a valve system is essentially what that is. So it has, you don't turn it closed, you don't open it. It essentially has a little adapter you can put on there and it opens up and lets air flow through. Kind of the basis of it, at least as far as I understand it. So you can buy just the cores. You can buy the whole valve stem with the cores in there. You can buy just the adapter separate. In my case, I just went for the cores and then the adapter so I can use them and give them a shot out. I don't necessarily need new valve stems, so I just kind of went with this way. This is the way I thought most people would probably buy it, honestly. Just like this, just to get the basic setup done. So we got the redwood behind me, so we're gonna try and install these and see how they work, how everything happens. What's the benefits, they say? So push on, pull off pump connection, 1.5 times the flow, and resistant to clogging. You know, kind of basic stuff. And then this guy, the little adapter, just supposedly goes into the straighter head of your pump. So you can put that on there, lock it with the lever, and you should be good to go. So we're going to try that out too. So let's go back here. Let's pull the cores out of here. We'll kind of compare the two together, and then we'll install them and see how they work. Test a few things out with them and see if this is the new valve. See if these are the new valve cores we're gonna run on the redwood. Let's move the old. So it's gonna take our cap off here. Underneath that's our valve core. Gotta get a valve core removal tool here, and we're just gonna go ahead and remove our valve core. And we're gonna be careful when we remove it and let some air out first. Luckily, we're not at a very high pressure right now. Because if this is the high pressure, it's going to try and shoot that core across the room. So, luckily, not high pressure for right now. So there's our old core right there. Let's go ahead and compare this one to the new cores going in, and we get the new one installed. All right, so there's our old valve core right there with the orange cap. So standard Presta valve core. So you can see as you have to unscrew that top, and that will open that valve up down at the bottom. So pretty easy to get clogged. This little thread-on piece gets bent on the top. You know, stuff like that happens all the time. Then we have our new Clik valve stem right here. So you can see there's nothing to unscrew. It's essentially just like that. That's all it is. Right on the top, this just screws right in place. So let's try this. So if we push this little pin up on the top here, you can see that opens the valve right there. So it does still have the possibility, but it's kind of more contained versus being a screw on there. So a little bit more contained there to keep it out. Interesting. Okay. So from there, so you can't use a standard valve cap, just so you know. Doesn't work anymore. No standard valve caps because it's totally different design. So they give you these little rubber ones that you can put on. If you want to put a valve cap on, it just pops right on there. Or they told me that you can run this just with nothing and you're gonna have no problems at all. We're going to pop this little cap on it when we install it just to make sure it's good. And then it, of course, includes the little tiny tool here. But this tool essentially goes onto the flat right there and allows you to tighten it down. Pretty much what that does. Pretty much a valve core removal tool. Does this work on the old valve too? Not that. Does it work to remove it? Yes, that's what the other side's for. So this actually has your valve core remover tool in it for your old valve, so you can take your old valve out with that and then tighten your new valve in. So I think that's the basics to it. We can take a look at the adapter too while we're here. So this is a little adapter here, very small versus what you'd think. And essentially this guy just goes right on there and click. Oh, there it goes. Clicks right on. And you can see as it clicked, it opened that valve up and you pop it off and it opens back up or closes. So push it on. Maybe. Very hard to do. There we go. Opens the valve up. Take it off. Close the valve. Okay, kind of neat. Let's get them installed. Let's get one installed in the rear and see how easy it is to install, and then we'll try and fill it up. All right, so installing it, should we grab the right one? So installing it should be as simple as just putting it in there, screwing it on like that, getting the little tool they provide, finding where the flats are, there they are, and tightening it down. Should be as simple as that is. Let's see. Okay, so that's it there. If you want the cap on, you can pop the cap on just like so. Take the cap off. Okay, I might just run it without the cap. It actually looks a little better without the cap, honestly. The cap's a little dorky, but I might just run it without it. Okay, so that's that. So again, we just got our little head here to replace our adapter head that just clicks right on and clicks right off. So let's go ahead, let's try and throw some air in here. See how that goes. So like I said, we just got our pump head here, and they say it just goes right into the Schrader valve side. So we're just going to pop it right into the Schrader valve side, and I'll make sure it's in there. And we're going to lock down our lever. And there we go. That should be ready to go. So we should be able just to put that right on. Just like that. Okay. And we'll fill this guy up a little bit. Let me move you back. Yeah, that's right about 35. Okay. That was simple. And then we should just be able to pop that guy off. There we go. There's that one. Let's do the front one, and we will try CO2 on the front one. They said you should be able to use just a standard CO2 inflator, and it should mate up to this without needing any kind of adapter. So we'll use our CO2 inflator we have on our bike here. We'll use CO2 cartridge, and we'll try that out, see if that works, or if you need this little adapter thing with your CO2, or if this is kind of just like an at-home kind of filling method here. Pushed on there. Oh, that's working. Oh, yeah. So it definitely works. And let's see here. So if we put our pump head on, yeah, that's just about 35. I do want to try my little electric pump I have. That's on my road bike. I want to test that as well, or whether you need that special adapter for that. So let me get that, and we'll try that out, and then I think we can come to our conclusion on these little valves here. Okay, so we got my little Bike Tech pump here. This is my little electric mini pump. Just like that. Inflates a tire. They're becoming more and more popular. It feels like every brand had something at Sea Otter with like a little pump. So I do want to test it out on this, because this is what I carry on my road bike. Is I carry this little pump here instead of CO2. I don't know why, but this is just the way I do it. So I want to see if this will actually inflate this tire, or if it's gonna not be able to do it. So we should be able just to push on, just like so, and then turn it on. And let's see if it can do it or not. So that was incredibly easy. Dare I say easier than a Presta valve. And we're inflated, ready to go on this guy. And if we want to check our pressure, we can just use our regular pump and just pop that guy right on. Yeah, we got to 20 before I said, that's good enough. So we can just fill this up to 35. There we go, 35, and then it just pops right off. Wow, that's really cool. Okay, I do want to test one thing. What about just a regular Presta valve? How does that work? Okay. Oh no, it's working. The pressure reading is way off, but that does work. Okay. That's really neat. So it works with CO2, works with little pumps. It works with a regular Presta. You can pump up with just a regular Presta valve if you want. It just doesn't give you your reading on your pressure, but you use a regular Presta valve if you want. You can use the adapter if you want to use that. That's really cool. It uses it all. All right, so Clik Valves. What do we think? I have nothing bad to say, honestly. They work. I mean, time will tell how long they work, but I'm talking to the guys at the Sea Otter booth. It appears they've kind of thought of it all to where you don't really got to worry about a seal in here going bad. So they've kind of thought of it, and they work good. They work fine. They work with your floor pump at home, whether you have the adapter or not. It works with your floor pump. The adapter helps you get the pressure dead on, so it gives you the pressure reading versus you could use a standard Presta valve pump and fill that up. Works no problem. You can use CO2 while you're out in the middle of nowhere and you need to use CO2 to fix a tire. CO2 works fine. You can use your little mini electric pumps. You can use those. No problem. Just fine. I mean, and they look kind of cool, honestly. You don't have to worry about your valve getting damaged like you would a Presta valve, which is why I run caps on Presta valves, because I've had the tip get damaged before. I just run caps on them. Works good. And honestly, when I first bought them, I first came in there, I was kind of a little skeptical on them. But then I went over to, but as I kept walking through, I stopped by Lezein's booth. If you don't know, I love Lezein stuff. If you haven't checked that stuff out, it's like top quality stuff. One of their new floor pumps they have has the click head attachment for it that they sell for that pump. That kind of told me this is probably going to go somewhere. That the Clik Valves are probably going to hang around for a while because they work, and they work good apparently. So time will tell how they work, but we're going to leave them on the gravel bike for the time being. I mean, they work with everything I need them to work with. I have the adapter. I'm kind of looking forward to seeing how well they work, and time will ultimately tell, like I said, how these things work and if they're actually better than a Presta valve core. One of the nice things is it's not like it's hard to reverse. You can literally just remove those cores, stick back your regular Presta valve cores if you really wanted to. So not a huge deal. Even if one gets damaged, carry on a Presta valve core. I carry on one anyways, so you can just pop that guy in there and you're back on the road ready to ride. So kind of cool. Again, I bought these myself. This is something I wanted to test out. That was one of the things I looked for at Sea Otter this year, was just different valve ideas, replacing just your standard Presta valve with something potentially better. And that's one of the things I found where, so I kind of decided to go for the Clik Valves was through that search there. So if you're interested in picking up a set of the Clik Valve for yourselves, I'm gonna have a link in the description down below. Pick up some valves, check them out for yourselves. Let me know what you think. If you've tried it before, let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comment section below. If you guys enjoyed the video, give this video a big thumbs up. I appreciate the support, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching today.